Yeah, maybe.
So it's definitely not
All
the
right.
hero that I like to see Bryle on. I like to see him on very aggressive tempo mids, but it'll be interesting to watch him for sure with having Mr. Jeans, facing off with him and then seeing, can this Clinks make these moves early on. They also have, the Timber
Mhm.
Saw, which is very strong. This is definitely a lane dominator, someone who's created to make space, but also devour space at the same time. And they have a very greedy kind of lineup. Is that also going to come back to bite G Pride in the butt?
I wouldn't say their lineup is that greedy. You're
30
saying the G
seconds
Pride
to
lineup
battle.
was greedy? Is that
I'm
correct?
just concerned because you've got a Timbersaw, right? You got a Timbersaw, you've got a Morphling right off the bat. That's pretty greedy. And then also you've got this Kunkka. Morphling's
I
gonna
wouldn't
need time to
describe
farm.
I wouldn't describe Timber as greedy because greedy usually denotes like somebody that isn't ready to fight early for a while,
Mhm.
and Timber isn't really that. That isn't the case for him. He's a very strong lane dominator basically, which is kind of the opposite in that he stabilizes your team, and then will be able to create
The
space
battle
by the
begins.
fact that he'll be pushing creep waves and getting creeps on towers. So, the only really greedy hero that they have on the team is Morphling, to be honest. If and I think Bryle is also going to be very effective, most like, or sorry, not Bryle, but um the Kunkka should be able to go around setting up kills and fights. Everybody else other than Morphling is going to be ready to go pretty early on. So I think that their tempo is going to be completely fine. Crazy's team fight's a little weak. That's one thing that they're lacking a bit with the OD and the Clinks pick perhaps, but I don't know, we'll see how it works out.
For sure. I just wasn't sure with the way that the Timbersaw, like I said, he dominates, but also a little bit of cheeky play here in mid lane. He does force out though a lot of these lanes, so you don't have as easy of a time being able to farm them up. But like you said, it does seem like the Morphling's the only one that's very problematic in terms of needing farm. And Valky is just
Mhm.
getting handled by Owie. This shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
Got a
AOA did a
battle
great
bot
job there.
action going on. Oh boy,
Normally,
HFN too.
yeah, normally when a Clockwork does that, he's going to get bullied by the support, but the support is the time.
Oh,
Oh my god!
oh,
Oh
beautifully
my
done by
god!
Dismar. He just tosses him right back, and Valky cleans up. Oh my
the re-
word.
the reason that
Radiant's
was so
middle tower
powerful
is
was
under
because
attack.
the Timber was in the middle of all the trees, and he said, "Bring them to me, because I'm gonna do way more damage if they're here." I haven't seen that kind of a combo before, but oh my god, was that a lot of damage? Oh, what a good start!
What was we saw another combo the other day, and I don't remember if it was G Pride that pulled it out with the toss into. Oh gosh, I can't
I'm
think of
sorry.
it now.
The barking.
Toss into the barking. Thank you, Tango. Just wants to be a part of the action, I'm sure. But we've seen G Pride do some interesting combinations. I think the other one too, we saw like the Marana and the Kunkka, a little bit of a cheesy kind of pick coming out from some of these teams. So I'm a big fan of Dismar. I've watched him in a lot of the open qualifiers. Unfortunately, he doesn't always make it through the close, but definitely one of those players that has a very good positioning. His Earthshaker's excellent, his Tiny's excellent, and I believe I've seen him like run on the clock as well.
Well, now
So
AOI is
it's
going to basically give up on the lane a bit by stacking the small camp and then pulling. Tiny's going to try to mess this up if he can, but denied creep wave is a really good way to make sure that Timber doesn't get quite as much as lane. And one of the other downsides to having a Clinks as a laner is that Clinks isn't the most excellent hero for going to jungle when things get rough. So he kind of ideally has a decently stabilized lane. It's part of another reason why Timbersaw was a really good pick, because Timbersaw is such a safe laner generally and is actually decent at taking a lot of range damage. So he's going to clean up the small camp to help guarantee that they have less creeps denied, and then everything should be fine here for him. And 2 points in armor now means he's basically not harassable anymore.
the tanky boy HFN though getting just run at by Dismar.
Oh
They need
my
maybe a
god.
little bit more damage, but they just don't have it. Dismar's taking too many tower shots. I don't know if he's going to be able to do this. No, HFN realizing his limits.
That was really cool. Really cool turn by HFN. I didn't anticipate that Avatos doing that much damage, but the problem is that Clinks has really bad base strength, so it's pretty easy to burst him in that way. But cool for him to turn there and fight to the death and take the Tiny down.
The wind up on his attack animation too is pretty slow as well. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it, but having that salve early on really did make a difference. A little harass coming out here. This top lane though, just constantly running at each other. I like it. I like how aggressive they're playing. Kara though doesn't look like he's going to make it away from Moon here.
Pretty big kill. That support versus support, who gets boosts first battle is always really important. So getting solo kills like that is going to limit CM's ability to zone Veno and could leave Veno more in a 1v1 against Morphling. The Smart really loving the toss here.
Oh yeah, I think also with the fact that Crystal Maiden, she got a little bit faster, but she's still fairly slow. So, I mean, having the boots against a Venomancer with all that slow is pretty important for her. It'll make life difficult.
Pretty good farm rate for Veno so far. 24 last hits versus Morphling's 9. Oh my god, Morphling's getting crushed. Oh,
Dismar doing Dismar things again. Avalanche. So he has the toss. Just gonna throw him right on top. Owie now. Trying to get away. Not a lot of health or mana actually over here on Valky, so I don't think they're gonna be able to do much more than that.
Structures are fortified.
the pressure on the Clinks is just a little bit too much here. The Tiny, while they had some issues at level 1, and the Clock did a great job getting damage onto the Timbersaw, being able to toss Clock away every time he uses Battery Assault is such a good advantage, because it just wastes his spell. Made the Clock feel a little bit useless. So they've done a great job pressuring the Clinks, but look at the net worth. It actually hasn't mattered at all. All right, game's over.
That feels very...
GG.
That feels very odd, because, you know, I was about to ask if they're struggling so hard in this top lane, and Clinks is, you know, more likely to be the hero that's going to be making moves early, being more tempo, which I don't necessarily love the fact that it's HFN having to do this, because it's not something that in the past we've seen him be extremely successful on. But, you know, how does that affect the other lanes, like with Bryle? And obviously KZ's doing absolutely fine, top of the net worth.
Yeah.
But
usually pro players are going to be good at rotating. Clinks being ganked.
Oh, HFN, not again.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, they killed him.
Yeah, that's what, 3 deaths now?
Yes. The toss broke all the trees, so I was worried for him when we ended very dead here. But I was worried that the toss broke all the trees. That means they got... Oh, I'm sorry, that's Kunkka dying. Never mind.
That's Mr. Jeans.
That's a big kill. Okay. Huge kill. Anyways, my other point, not that important. Good for Crazy. They're doing well.
It just feels odd, like with the amount of pressure being placed on your safe lane core by G Pride, and you know he's died so many times, but it really just doesn't seem to reflect, like we said, in the net worth too much. Like he did slip a little bit now. Timbersaw taking a little bit of an advantage, but it's only a 1k difference. Kara, the lift right back into KheZu, realizing he's gonna be too slow. They just have too much damage. That's another dead Crystal Maiden.
Yep, KheZu's skill build is very good for easy harass. 3 points in Poison Sting, 2 points in Plague Ward's, 1 Gale. So any harass he gets in is going to be really good. And that's one disadvantage that Morphling has in this lane, is that he's morphing. Okay, never mind. I was scared for Morphling that he was going to die. He's fine though. He just morphs down under trees. But KheZu basically just gets to easily apply Poison Sting to the Morphling because they're about the same attack range. Normally it's a disadvantage of Veno against a range hero, but not now. I don't know where AUI pulled this creep wave from, but Bryle's gonna be happy about it.
Oh yeah, he seems very happy about it. Just seems so weird to see an OD after so long.
Yeah, it does. It does feel really weird. It's like you forget how that exists for a while. But he's gotten a couple weird changes. There's been so many, it's hard to keep up with him. He used to have AoE on his orb attack. That got removed. Now his passive is basically more like it used to be, which is like a chance to get mana back when you cast spells. So they've changed him up enough where a little different. KheZu in trouble.
Gank in the bottom lane, toss back over here. Might be able to go and kill Crystal Maiden before he dies. And indeed, KheZu, no, not happy he's dead, but he did get a kill. And HFN has to be very careful. Oh, Bryle
really
with
bad.
that. Yeah, this is most likely dead. Oh no, they don't have the stun. Okay, they had opened up with the Astral Imprisonment, so he does TP out,
really,
but
really smart TP. That would have been rough otherwise, that being a haste rune. All right, now worthwise, Morphling doing a little bit better now. Clinks is a little bit behind him. Oh, I thought he was gonna miss that one. I was gonna feel really bad for Clinks.
Defend. They have Dust Dismars here again. He just pops. No longer exists. AUI now trying to get away, but they're hot on his tail. They're gonna get intercepted at all? No, it doesn't look like they're gonna bother.
See if he gets the kill here.
Rocky.
He's probably gonna ult him, but
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, and the timber chain on
Hard to-
Moon. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's actually a really good skill to steal with a lot of pure damage, actually. So, all right, good rotation from Brawl. That's a really important kill. That's like the scariest thing that can happen to a Timbersaw, is that you're so invulnerable most of the time that you can just stick top. But if you do get ganked, it ends up being pretty bad for you. And it was even worse the fact that it was literally just one hero rotating. Usually it takes like 3, maybe even 4 heroes at this early stage of the game when the Timber's having a good game. So that was a big kill.
I guess the only thing I'm concerned about now is they don't have to worry about the threat of the Sanity's Eclipse coming out from the OD. Is that a problem, or is that just something that, you know, the OD is still very, very scary to have to deal with, and they just don't mind it? Just used it, you know, to secure the kill.
Yeah, I see your point. I mean, it is. He's less strong right now, but it's not. He's not really like the most gank active hero, and he still farms pretty fast regardless. So it's basically not that big of a deal.
And Dismar has been making moves. Look at this again, the toss up and the waveform on through are just, this is just not a game for HF. He just hasn't had any really great games lately, it feels.
Dismar's been absolutely okay.
Oh, Valky. There's just too many people here, my friend. Too many. Although they're going back in on this Dismar, hoping maybe they can get a kill. They're chasing after Bryle. Gonna be a little bit of a push. That KZ getting off the ultimate. The X marks the spot. A little bit of a weird move, but the Astral Imprisonment protecting him from the boat.
Okay. They kind of had to X combo the OD there. If they don't, I think Tiny dies. But as a whole, Dismar, the Tiny, has been ridiculously owning all game. It's actually incredible how well he's been doing in terms of punishing Clinks.
It's
now
always fun
Clinks'
to
net
watch
worth
him
is
move around.
atrocious.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Very active, that one. Oh, cancels out the TP on KZ.
Got
I
him.
can't do
Dire's
much beyond that.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, did you see how Crystal Maiden? She managed to walk away from that fight, but the poison sting just totally obliterated her, doing the final like fatal damage. It's a hard game for G Pride here.
Game. Yeah, Crystal Maiden having a really rough one. That's the one person that's super vulnerable, and this is exactly what Clinks
Oh
wants
no.
to do.
She's still alive though. She's running.
Clinks is
Dismar's
so
gonna come over and
useless.
protect her.
Oh,
Oh, that feels
no.
so terrible. You can't even kill the Crystal Maiden. She's the squishiest,
it's
the
fine.
slowest.
If not for that
Dismar
Gale,
might
that's a
die
dead
here,
Clinks.
Yeah, they've got enough damage. X marks the
He
spot
needed that
over
kill.
onto Bryle. But they have the Astral Imprisonment. Mr. Jeans, he's not going to survive this. I have a feeling. The boat comes in, does manage to land off on the side. HFN dead again. Kara just getting chased after. They'll find that kill, and Argis is left all alone. There's just nothing that they can do.
So while this is going really bad for Clinks, he did get 1 kill there, and OD's been able to do whatever he wants. And if you look at his itemization too, he's playing very wise. He's not going crazy. He could have bought Midas. Midas is really good right now. He just bought a drum instead. Drum is like 500 gold less than Midas is, and it gives you like way more mobility in fight. And here he goes trying to get the timber kill.
But you
Can't let
see,
him chain.
they just ran at him, like immediately. No fear, pop the drums. I don't even think you still want to be here. I think that you're dead. The second that Mr. Jeans comes out of here, he's just not going to have any life. Yeah, they have the timber chain on Moon. They've got a spirit vessel
Radiant's top
completed.
tower is under attack.
You can't even show up in these lanes. This is looking real bad.
It really helps that it's so many melee heroes, honestly. It's just so easy for him to control them because he gets to slow them when he turns on his passive. So he turns on his passive, 1 stun, and he's getting like 5 or 6 attacks, even though his attack speed's not that incredible right now. Now he's queuing up a Blink Dagger. He knows this game is perfect for him. So he's just aiming to be able to save himself. He can banish himself and blink away, or to be able to blink and catch somebody that's out of position. They've also got the Spirit Vessel on Venno finished already, so they already have some Morphling counters going for him. It's looking real good for Crazy, despite the fact that HFN is having such a bad game on Clinks.
I mean, and that's really a testament to the fact that, like, one of the things I love about Crazy is their drafts are always so good. When we had the patch drop in the middle of, the Great American Rivalry Tournament, they were playing up against Business Associates, and I swear they just got such a fast handle. They only had 15 minutes to look at, like, everything that was put in front of them, and they crafted such a good draft so fast, whereas Business Associates, they're still kind of struggling to figure out, you know, what works for them and how to play it, but this team, like especially, you know, you've got KZU on it, you've got Aoi, you've got a lot of really good players that understand, you know, how to fit these pieces together. And a lot of the times I feel sometimes they just win in the draft.
Yeah. It can make a big difference here. So that last fight again, that was pretty cool. Tiny with no armor, very vulnerable to Klink's damage, but as long as he can keep him away from melee range, then it's not going to be that bad. But able to banish the Kunkka there. Just one of the many Mr. Gene's deaths so far in this game. Very wisely going for the CM over the morph there. It's a good play. Brawl's doing really good so far.
Like you said, it's like the perfect OD game. Again, weird because we haven't seen it, but I mean, that's how good it was, that it doesn't need to be in the meta right now. It is just the perfect setup for this hero. It's a weird mask.
It is. It looks kind of reminds me of the Bane cosmetic. That's similar.
Yeah, with the horns, right?
Yeah, it has like a skull head kind of a thing. Very similar.
I like how all their mouths still move.
More like their jaws. Their jaws still move up and down.
That's
even
part
though
of their
time
mouth.
has paused.
I
guess you're right.
Mouth. They just, you know, yeah, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He is the
That's the
outworld
sound I hear
devourer.
too.
He's thinking about devouring, clearly.
Okay.
It's like we're ready to go, though.
So Timber's going to try to slow this down a little bit without feeding, fingers crossed.
Dire
And he just doesn't have a good
tower
solution right
is
now.
under attack.
He's only got so much HP. They might hookshot this and go in on it, but it's a little hard.
You
They have
think
to
they're...
hookshot into a lift. They showed a little too much, I think. I think Timber probably saw that one coming. It would have been hard.
But do you think
he had
they
to like
care?
hookshot? Does who care? Oh, crazy? No, it doesn't matter that much. It's not that
Yeah.
big of a deal. But nice D ward here.
Radiant's
That might have
middle
spotted
tower
them.
is under
That was
attack.
smart of AUI to figure that out. That Timber kind of felt like he was playing around it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
All right, now the mid pressure comes.
Spawn's coming out now from G Pride. You can see the TPs. Valky just can't do much over here. He can kind of throw his body in between them, but he's putting himself at a lot of risk. They just have a lot of damage, so much slow, so much pressure.
Well, they're gonna have to
managed
give
to
up and go
defend
somewhere else. It's too hard for them to fight into this without the benefit of like an X combo or something. Or like basically if Crazy over initiates against Kunkka, it's super dangerous. Because all they have to do is X somebody while Banish is on cooldown, and it's gonna be a really good fight for G Pride. But that's one of the nice things that Crazy's done so far, is they haven't made Kunkka feel
Radiant's
useful
top
at
tower
all,
is
just
under
because of
attack.
the defensive Banish that OD has.
Dire are scanning.
Working towards the E-Blade rush now, and he's getting close. It will be good, but they are still going to have some solutions. E-Blade will be very nice for saving people like Klinks goes on as well.
It's like they're still having a bunch of lag on the side of G Pride. It's unfortunate. It happens quite a bit with the South American region. And I think they are playing on US East as well, so that also can sometimes attribute to other issues that they've got going on. But this is a problem. You know, the Kunkka's supposed to be making the space, right? It's definitely a time for tempo controlling mids, and he just has not really had a game, unfortunately. And they had a good start for G Pride in the top lane. Now Valky was being very aggressive. You've got Dismar making all the right moves, it felt like, but just the other lane started to pull away too hard now. So what's the solution? I mean, Dismar's got to continue to be very aggressive, right? But then what does the rest of the team do? Because this Morphling is not ready.
I mean, at some point, Morphling, when he gets like lots of damage items and BKB, he can definitely beat OD in a 1v1 through physical damage, because he's going to do way more physical damage if both heroes are BKB'd. So they have some late game solutions if they can hold on and keep Morphling farmed. That'll be there. Ideally, OD would, in that circumstance, would banish himself or buy time until BKB runs out. Then he can fight Morphling again. But for now, pre-BKB, as long as OD keeps buying like safe items, I think it's going to look really good for everybody on Crazy's side. We just wanted the courier. Okay.
Well, he knows that he can't take down Valky right now. Not with just Moon and him. Look at the response, though. All the heroes, they're just grouping up, waiting for the runes as well.
That was really good. Benno partially rotated over as well, just in case. Just in case.
It's just a matter of figuring out how G Pride makes it towards that late game. Especially because of the fact that, you know, Crazy is playing very aggressive. They're taking towers using this Venomancer.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
It's really nicely
Applying
done.
pressure.
Do you see what OD was building as well? He's going to go for Ags, the old common standard build. But his build is so safe. Lots of stats into Ags, gives him 2 banishes, a greater cast range. He can save allies and initiate. It's just like the perfect thing to build if they're going to continue setting tempo. And so far, G-Pride just feels scared not to separate from each other because they're very worried about more deaths coming, especially as vulnerable as like Crystal Maiden and others are. He misses the first one.
Oh, we'll find
Let's see a
HFN.
TP.
Toss up, avalanche, everything. Yep. Goes over to Kara. I think they'd much prefer that had gone over to the other hero there. Mr. Jeans. Valky, though. Oh, Moonmeander cutting him down with his own spell.
Power of pure damage, as we know.
Bryle
very
has
good.
a double damage room. You get out of there, Argis. You do not want to be there. Oh, good lord.
There was like a tiny chance he gets a kill there, actually. I guess his int is probably not high enough yet, but if he got the banish off and then ultied, he might have killed Morph, like pre-morph that is, but didn't get the opportunity. Still forcing everybody on G-Pride to run around. Oh, that's got to feel good. Hitting rocket flare on people with raindrops. Oof. Some
All right,
slow
that's
attrition
the-
damage.
That's the axe completed now. So probably gonna see some of these fights amp up very quickly now that we have this item online. In fact, they're all kind of grouped up over here in the mid lane, so it feels like they want to make something happen. Ooh, that's gonna be easy D word. Drums pop.
These guys are coming though. They have a ward, but they'll get the ward after. Now they know. But what's important is that they're normally you don't see a team being this casual and aggressive about invading this tri-camp area. But look how much it's restricting the map for G-Pride. They know they're stupidly far ahead with their hero picks and how difficult it is for G-Pride to fight. So if they just keep invading this area and dewarding it constantly, G-Pride's never going to feel safe and comfortable farming it. They're going to have to go other places. But then Crazy just collapses in those other places instead and keeps trying to force fights, forcing G-Pride to escape. Good catch.
Yes. Quick shot from Aoi, the knockback, the Spirit Vessel boat coming through. Astral Imprisonment holding him in place a little longer, and that's a dead
Why?
Mr. Jeans. And finally, HFN gets that kill. And the X, ooh, that's a good steal too.
It is. Really good steal. I don't know why he banished him there. That was definitely the wrong thing to do. He was messing around or something, but still works out nice. Another big kill. Kunkka feels like a complete non-factor this game. He's effectively an offlane hero here.
Uh-oh. Kazu, darn gets off the ultimate, but there's no one else around, really. Oh, well, there we go. There's HFN. He's considering it. He's just kind of running around a tree in circles here, but... Top lane, Valky getting picked up.
No.
What?
He didn't think he was in cast
Bryle,
range.
please.
Oh, the X, though. That X was sick. Made it very
He's still
easy.
dead.
So he thought he was out of stun range, so he was going to banish to give time for Rubik to lift, but it came at the same time, so that's why it was a mistake. Sometimes that happens. I mean,
I feel like
those
Bryle hasn't
mistakes-
played this hero in a while too, so he's also making like tiny
Probably.
little mistakes. I don't know about this HFN.
Radiant are
There's no way.
scanning.
Yeah, he doesn't even have Deso yet. He's so far behind.
Radiant's top tower
But it's
still
like, it's kind of endearing, you know? He's just like this underfarm carry, and you're like, that's okay, you'll get strong someday. Well, his team just like owns really hard. I mean, if I'm losing, I'm like, man, my carry sucks. But like now I'm like, that's all right, buddy. You'll make it.
Just
like his
the
little
are you
brother.
winning, son? Not yet, Dad.
Yep.
This is still a tough game. About an 8k net worth lead at 19 minutes in. The invasion's on again over here at the triangle. They managed to go snatch up someone. Dismar rotating. It does have that blink dagger. The hook shot comes through though over here on the morph. As they push him back, he's gonna have to waveform away.
And now they'll rotate back to the other lane. That looks like a dead
Okay.
CM to me. Oh my god.
I know.
Moonmeander's
Valky's here.
13 and she's 6. She's level 6.
That's an oof. They might be able to get this kill though. This is looking pretty good for them. Yeah, they get the kill on Moon. So, you know, you pick on the Crystal Maiden and her big brother Valky shows up and says, yo, pick on someone your own size. Tossed right back again over here on Bryle. Oh no, Valky is just absolutely stuck. Does have that Timber Pain. And there's gonna be the boat thrown out. We'll slow them down, but there's no damage coming out from Mr. Jeans.
it was good for Moon to be there generally because he's gonna, if he basically preps for where they're gonna run after his team invades, he can be there to land stuns and catch people to allow them to get a kill. He just needed to ult himself at the right time, but the torrent came when he didn't expect it, and that gave them enough time to chain stun and kill him. But if he hadn't been chain stun like there, he gets a lift, he throws him into his team who's coming, and then they get more kills. So not ultimately that bad for Crazy. It is really just a show of how little damage they have. The halberd being finished on Clunke is good. It's a very, very good anti-OD item, but considering how far ahead OD is, we'll see. Is this a Morphling? It is. He's alive. No, he's not.
No, he's not. He's not alive at all, Purge. You're fired. Dismar here trying to just jump in. They have the Timber Chain out. Bryle, he's taking a lot of damage. He needs maybe some assistance. Gonna try to juke around. He's still taking Chakram damage. He goes in again. They'll find the kill finally over onto Bryle, but Mr. Jeans is left high and dry as they're just trying to just chip away at him. They'll take down the Kunkka, and now Valky. He's got the Timber Chain. Oh, the body blocks though. The battery cell from Owie interrupts Valky. He cannot get away, and oh, Crystal Maiden, leave this poor lady alone, you guys. It's a double kill for Keizu.
Okay, and that's how you start killing Morphling later. He does not have a good mana pool. His int gain is pretty crappy. The only way he gets a lot of mana is from all these hybrid stat items that you buy. So at this point in the game, OD does a lot of damage. His ulti got him down to about 40%, and then the final, the explosion afterwards is what ended up killing him. But basically, Morphling just has to press attribute shift right before he gets banished, and he will live in those circumstances. But Bryle was able to catch him before that. And while he paid for it with his life, still a very good fight for Crazy. But they are gaining some ground. Morphling's net worth is approaching OD's. But considering the pressure they're putting on, I think Crazy's looking good for the next 20 minutes.
I think it's just so scary because of the fact that the OD did go for that Blink Dagger, and a lot of this is going to come down to taking them by surprise. This is great. They've been putting a lot of...
He doesn't have it, actually, the Blink.
He bought it, though. I literally saw him buy it.
Okay. Well, it's not there yet.
Very confused. All right, well...
He had it queued up
he
earlier.
Changed his mind?
He might have changed it. I think he changed it to go for Ags, is what happened. He was thinking about getting Blink, but we talked about it. But
I thought I saw him pick it up, but maybe I'm wrong. It's all right.
Okay. Yeah.
They've got plenty of people to be able to scout and get the jump anyways, like that. You know? Surprise! Here we are. Go grab ourselves the Mr. Jeans. Halberd coming in handy, though. We'll hold him off, but he's just got all of these astral banishments. They'll just sit and wait for it to be able to just go right back. And again, there's a lot of damage. The boat gets stolen, and HFN gets the kill.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Everyone looks so greasy right now on the team of Crazy. Okay, there we go. Grease went away. Nothing like a little boat grease, right?
Mmm.
Good old boat grease.
That's so
Cook
gross.
with it, clean with it.
Tower is under attack.
Oh
Radiant
my
structures
goodness.
are fortified.
Oh no, Crystal
Dire's
Maiden.
top tower is
Just
under
trying to get whatever he could over. He knew that everyone was in the mid lane. Didn't expect them to come over this fast, though, I think.
She was so dead, they banished her, and they all just started running past, be like, come on, there's got to be something better here. I have to kill a Crystal Maiden.
What level is she?
Like level 8
What
or
level is the Crystal
9.
Maiden?
Ooh,
She's
good for
level
her.
9. Oof.
Very good for her.
Radiant are scanning.
Good for her, but she needs to do better. It's a hard game, though. Oh, hard game for her.
The farm continues. Interesting cloak on the OD. I wonder if he's just... I mean, he has a lot of HP and there's a lot of magic, but I guess it's just a casual cloak. I wonder if he's going to turn it into something. Maybe a Shadow Blade later.
Rubik boat over into the mid lane. The stun and the rest of the team follows up, and it's the dead Mr. Jeans in a moment.
Radiant's middle tower is
Gotta
wants
wait
the
for
kill.
it.
He's like, no, this is for me.
Oh, I hear a
got
hook
a hook
shot.
shot.
Yeah, they got a hook shot off to the side. Oh, poor Crystal Maiden. She has spent more time dead this game than alive, I have a feeling.
I think so. Yeah, that made the Clinks look strong, that last gank there.
Well, that's good. He needs to
right,
show off a little
there's
bit.
the
at some
blink.
point. There's the blink. See, I knew it. Why didn't he have it, though?
Maybe his courier died? Could have been why.
That's possible. I knew I wasn't crazy. Trying to make me look crazy, Purge.
Radiant's
I mean, you might
middle
still
tower
be.
is under attack.
Depending on
No,
if
they're
I'm gonna have to
crazy.
go back and watch the VOD. This is really important to me. Need to know if Moxie saw something or not.
Oh, Bryle. He was looking for him.
So the reason he bought Dragonlance, it's a pretty effective item, just because of attack range. You shouldn't always buy it on like int-based right clickers, but if OD is really tanky and has save, if he gets more tanky, it's going to make it harder for G Pride to initiate.
This stolen boat is doing so much work. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Ooh, I don't know if that
Nova, they want to
Great
go in,
torrent.
but they just are unsure of this. Valky taking a lot of this damage. He's just the meat shield at this point. Gonna come right back out again. OD blinking forward, just finishes up. Ryle says, "You belong to me."
Because is really mad that Brow keeps banishing the exact moment that he's trying to use his skills consistently. Poison
Yeah,
Nova
there's-
whiffed, Gale whiffed.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I almost feel like they're clowning a little bit at this point, though, to be quite honest.
They are a little bit for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, Hurricane Pike very good on OD anyways, especially against the melee heroes. If he does get in trouble, he has another way to save himself now. And this is like the terrifying part for playing against OD. When he's got Blink Dagger, when he's got a Force Staff, and he still feels too strong, it's bad news for G Pride.
This poor Crystal Maiden Car's like, guys, I need some levels. I need a little bit of farm. It's so scary for this poor Crystal Maiden. But the
She's
assault's
like
going on.
jungling,
Dad.
then running to the other side of the jungle.
Yep. They ping her out too. They watched her run through the mid lane. Dismar getting spotted with that rocket flare. Hookshot comes in. Stolen Chakram. Man, just Moon Meander is playing a better version of their heroes today, it feels. I don't know.
Yeah. It helps to be ahead, of course, but I don't know if this is going to win the game for CM here, but what's actually smart about it is that literally there's nothing that they can do on their side of the map because Crazy just keeps bouncing between each jungle spot. So, like, she's getting more farm than she would standing in the base.
Yeah.
It really isn't that bad that she's jungling like this.
Well, I feel
Dagon
like
on
if
Morphling.
she's... Okay, all right.
Paladin Sword, very good. Although so is the other item, but that's a cock hero.
That is indeed. There's more heroes making their way over. Okay, again, the halberd. The X comes out. Owie following up, though. Torrent's going to connect. The swimming coming through, but he saves himself with the Astral. Boat crops. It's a bit of a fail boat, and finally, Keizu gets to get that ultimate off, but they do have the BKB over here in Arches, and they're trying to buy a little bit more time here for this OD. He blinks forward. Ryle, God, he turns around. He gets a kill on Dismar. He gets himself a double kill with
he's
Mr.
done.
Jeans, and he's going to try to go and get the final hit here on Arches. It's a triple kill for Ryle. The
Ooh,
GG
GG is
call.
called. Oh, what a one-sided game, but perfect play by OD there. BKBs get popped, he's in trouble, he banishes himself for 8 seconds, and then he